Good morning or good day, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Mallory Arevalos. I'm the Director of Fiscal Services here at Davis Joint Unified. And this is a quick training video to help you with the process and QSS of doing budget transfers. This is a new thing that we're asking all of our administrative secretaries, assistants to help us with at the school site, at the department level. As you know, we're getting to a place where our budgets are getting tighter and tighter, and we're going to need to shift a little bit of our culture of how we're currently, doing purchasing. Sometimes when we do purchasing and purchase requisitions, it alerts you that there's no budget in that line, and the practice has always been that, oh, budget will get moved there at the interims, or it will get fixed, it will get moved. But what we need to do instead of fixing things after the fact when they get a little maybe too hairy, if you will, is really move the budget before the expenditures happen. So this is a video that's going to show you how to do that. Let me go ahead and share my screen and show you the process for that. So I'm going to start with QSS. We're going to run some reports in here so you actually know what to do in the actual budget transfer form. But so we'll go ahead and get the job menu going in here. That's how you run the report. And just so you know, this is an informed K-12 form. So Davis Joint Unified, departments, fiscal services, staff resources, and then click down here to the budget transfer form, and that's the form we're going to be working on. So you'll go ahead and fill it out for your information. That way it comes back to you as a receipt that it's done. And this is really only for expenditures, folks. I don't expect you to reconcile your revenue, but definitely the expenditures, the budget accounts that you guys use really frequently. This is what we're going to be asking of you. So this is the form we're going to use, but again, we need that report first. So let me go ahead and show that to you. We pulled up the job menu, correct? And now we're just going to write budget. The budget report that we want is the BDX 110. And let me kind of show you, kind of back up a little bit and show you like maybe what you have received like on a monthly basis. So on a monthly basis, we report out to our departments and to our school sites the budget to actuals. So this one is as of their actuals as of December 31st. In today's example, I'm using North Davis Elementary. So this first page is always just your quick highlight, right? Your overview, big picture of all the different pots of money. It tells you the different columns, right? Adopted or 45-day revise, first interim, your actuals, your encumbrances, and then your budget there, and then your total balance. So let me go ahead and move forward to that. So while I see, I'm here, North Davis, Title I, we've got no budget, but we have some expenditures that popped up over there. So all that means is that North Davis needs to do expenditure transfer forms and move those expenses out of Title I and into the appropriate budgets, and that will get rid of those negatives. So that's speaking of actuals, correct? Today's video is all about budget. So here's another example of where a budget transfer is needed. So you get these reports on a regular basis. Again, same kind of columns. We have adopted, first interim, actuals, encumbrances, committed, which is the sum of actuals and encumbrances together, and then your balance. Over here kind of lets you know how the report was ran, which resource, which goal, and then the type code, and then the major object code. So again, just to show you an example of what this would look like and what would trigger you to know, hey, it's time to do a budget transfer, is if you've got any balances over here with negative. So here's an example, and we're going to use this as our example today. So let me just kind of zoom in for you folks. So the budget is $4,610 negative. You'll see that first interim, there's no budget in the first interim column up here. Uh-oh, it's freezing on me. So this is where it just kind of gives you a clue as to where the negative is. And then that budget report that we're going to run in QSS will actually give you the full account line. So we know that it is in, here it's in our supplemental 1010 LCFF budget. So that's the report I'm going to run. And just for good practice, I probably should recommend that you just run it for all of your budgets. That way you can have it. But you'll want to make sure that you, again, we've typed in budget. It's this report writer, BDX 110. You put in your date range and give it a name. Let's say LCFF SUP and E. Okay, we want to make sure it's picking up your working budget. We want to include any budget transfers that are in there and unapproved, so it's going to be your latest and greatest budget. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to change this to a 3. And by changing this to a 3, you're going to get every account line, like the full account string that you need. And that's important because when you do a budget transfer form, it's going to ask for the full string. And as you see here, this report, it just kind of gives you clues. You don't know the full string behind that. So that's why this budget this budget report's really helpful. So again, date range, the name, working, unapproved. Here we go. And we're going to actually make sure you go to sort, like how you want it to be sorted. I think it just kind of defaults to how you had it last time. So we're just going to do it by type. It's already in there. Okay, get rid of that, do type. Okay, save. And then the account string. This is really important. Go ahead and hit clear. That way everything is removed before that. And again, I'm North Davis today. 112. We know it's supplemental. And we know supplemental ends in 1010. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. Just make sure that's what the one I want is. Yep, okay. Great. So that looks good. And then we're going to hit go. And you're probably wondering, well, how do you even know how much to do that part? Well, we know that North Davis is 112. So the top of the report, it tells you at least a little bit here. So you know it's 01-300 112. We know that everything in here is in the unrestricted budget. We know that the goal code is 1153. And the type code of where this is in 1010. So again, we just took the clues right off from this report and put it in here to generate the actual account. So when we go to now our budget manager, our print manager, we're going to do a little refresh. We're going to click here. And we're going to go options, create, options, open. And this is the report. Make it a little bigger. I always encourage folks to save the first page because that way you remember all the parameters that you ran it on. And this is what we wanted to see. So you've got the full string right here. And it tells you, again, how you read this report. This is your working budget. This is what's been expended, what's been spent, any encumbrances, and then what the budget is, what's negative here. So we can clearly see that it's our counselor line that's negative, and our paraeducators got a positive balance of 15,590, and so that's what we need to do. Let's go ahead and scroll down and see if there's any other object codes. So supplies has a positive budget of 5,667. There's no expenditure, so the full budget is still there. So that might be a spot that I draw from to cover that negative. But again, you guys are there on site. You guys have more familiarity with what's going on in the budget because you're there with your principal. Ask them, hey, this account is negative. We need to pull it up. Where are we going to draw from? It needs to come from somewhere. But so for today's example, just because I don't want to mess with any other salaries per se, I'm going to use the supplies. So again, to fill out the form, we are here. You're going to select your fiscal year. It's going to be requested by, so go ahead and put your name. And you're going to pick your site. So this is for North Davis. Great. And so budget transfer, again, these are for expenditures. So which account are we going to decrease? Okay, which account are we going to decrease with a debit? So again, I think we're going to decrease the supply account. And then we're going to increase the negative counselor account. So I'm going to move that over here. Again, hopefully you have printed that out for yourself. So let me go ahead and put that in. 300, dashes 300, 112. Okay, and the amount that we need to cover the negative is 4610. Okay, and what's the account that needs the credit? What account needs to be increased? What account is negative that we need to increase? Well, that's the counselor code. Okay, and by the same amount, right? So we're decreasing it here, we're moving it here. Hence the word budget transfer. We're transferring it from one end to the other. Okay. You can add attachments if you wish, but definitely save your backup for yourself. And then you're going to submit it. So this needs to go to your principal. Don't send it to me, folks. Send it to your immediate supervisor. And then it will eventually come to fiscal services. I promise you it will come to us. And then we'll actually process it. So once it actually makes its way over here. And you're going to send. And that's how you do that. So again, folks, I want to make sure, you know, that we're looking at these budget reports that are being sent to you on a regular basis, and we're not just looking at them, we're actually having conversations, we're doing things with them, we're managing our budgets a little better, and not just kind of waiting everything to magically happen twice a year at the interims, because there are 17 sites and over 24,000 account codes and only one of me. So we just need to empower our staff and show you guys how to do this and manage it, and really just keep everybody a little bit more fiscally, I'd say, sound when it comes to managing your budget. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and have a good day. Bye-bye.